Oh, it's still fucked? Alright, so they just gave it a better look, and that's it. November... January 1st. Alright, so you guys are telling me that it's a lot faster now. We'll see. Hopefully you guys are right. Holy shit. How do I full screen it? Oh shit. Expand. Oh, there we go. Have you ever tested Bitcoin? We have. I think we tested Bitcoin in 2023. I'm not entirely sure. I'm fairly sure we did though. We did ETH USD for sure. But yeah. Anyways, right off the bat, we have setup number 1. What do we got? What do we think about this setup? Would you guys say that this is a valid setup or not? Shit, how does it work? Place order. Oh, cool. Even. Gotcha. Structure size, but there's no liquidity sweep, and there's a lot of liquidity, right? Correct. So we're staying out of that one. Whoops. What the fuck? It's not working anymore. Usually I used to do the control space to skip forward, but for some reason that's not working. Okay. Never mind then. All right, so there's something missing from this setup. Can you guys tell me what it is? Pirelli gap imbalance, right on. Shit. Cool. Well spotted. Now it's working. What the fuck? This wouldn't have been a valid short really, because we didn't really get that break of structure to the downside. I know that some members or someone messaged me the other day about how I used to take way more aggressive trades, and I'm aware that I used to be a lot more aggressive with my setups. This was also back when I had 7 funded accounts, and with 7 funded accounts you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive because you can afford to lose 1 account. Also, once we shifted to a million different platforms, that's also when I decided to become a little bit more conservative with my trading setups, mainly because I just didn't want to be spending 2 hours a day setting my limit orders, because I was trading on Match Trader, DXTrade, Trade Locker, MT4, MT5, and I think one more, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, CTrader. So once I got to that point, I just decided to oh, they still haven't fixed that. Nice. I just decided to play it a little bit more conservative rather than trying to basically catch every little move. Were you taking different trades on the 7 accounts back in the day? So the strategy that I used to apply was, and a lot of funded traders do this, let's say you have 1 account. Let's say you have 1 account. Hold on. Account 1. Account 2. Let's say you have 1 account and you make, for example, 1% profit or 2% profit. You win a trade on this account. Instead of continuing, basically, instead of trying to trade, you wait until you get your payout. So now you have at least one 4K payout because you made 2% on this account. Let's say we go on to the next account and we take a loss. We take 2 losses there. Let's say negative 2%. Now we are down on this account basically because we got 2 losses. And if we were to take these trades on that first account, we wouldn't have a payout. So now we're down on this account. Then you move on to account number 3. And let's say you get one more win. Now you're up 2% again. Now you have a guaranteed 4% payout on 200K, which is 8K. This one, you can always basically copy trades from account number 3 and 4 to account number 2 to try and get it back up. But basically dividing or diversifying your trades between accounts gives you basically a higher chance of getting monthly payouts. Because let's say you take 10 trades, there's a big chance at least 2 or 3 of those are going to be winners. So in doing that, you kind of give yourself room to breathe, and so you kind of have a payout every month, at least most months. I was thinking of doing that at some point, but I thought it might mess with the profits long term. Not necessarily, mainly because you're trading prop accounts too, right? It's not if you were trading personal account or personal capital, I would say yes, just take every trade that you see. But prop firms, you shouldn't try and go for 10% gain on one account. You should try to go for 2% gain on one account. I've always said it too. I've never been a FTMO Supreme trader because you need at least 4% payouts to be eligible for FTMO Supreme, and I never went above 3% really, or 2 or 3% with my payouts, meaning that I never really even got close to the FTMO Supreme trader. Esteban is asking me, why did you cancel that short? Are you referring to that short? 2 3 payout. Oh, it's totally valid if you kept that on, for sure. And I think oh no, that would have been a valid loss actually. I'm not sure why I deleted that. We can count that as a loss. Would have been valid. But basically, especially when I was day trading too, there was whenever I trade it for a full month, and let's say I got about 10-15 trades, I didn't really have 15 losing trades, for example, in a row. I had 3-4 losing trades, but if I divided my trades on different accounts, it basically gave me a higher chance of getting at least one payout that month, which is why it's always good to have multiple accounts. But eventually that became really, really hard and unsustainable because I was trading on 7 accounts. I ended up giving some accounts away too, to some members. Fortunately, they ended up blowing the account, but that was totally fine because I wasn't going to trade on it anyways. I gave away my 300K Apex funding account recently to someone because I hate futures. I'm not going to be futures trading ever. What do you guys think about this setup, by the way? I'm sorry, Bose. I know you would have doubled it. Well, to be honest, Musty, look at it like this too, right? Hold on. Let's first discuss the setup. We see a bunch of equal lows, right? We don't really see liquidity sweep. This is really choppy sideways price action. We're going to stay out of this one. To be honest too, if you have, for example, 10 funded accounts and you end up giving it to another trader, and that trader is a really good trader, and you say, for example, we'll do a 50-50 profit split, and you'll get the funded account for free. It's the same thing as capital allocation on hedge firms or hedge funds. That's what they do too. They'll basically have a certain amount of funding which they'll allocate to different traders to diversify their risk and their income. And in my eyes, giving away funded accounts is pretty much the same thing as doing that. If I know that I'm giving my account to a profitable trader, For me, it's just diversifying my risk, and that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's capital protection, and it's diversifying your risk. Uh, yes, okay. In this case, it ended up being blown. But the guy who's trading my funded account, my Apex funded account, um, he's doing really well with Apex, but he got banned from Apex funding because he had too much in payouts. I remember Jay knows who I'm talking about, but he got 26K in payouts denied because he was milking Apex funding. Yeah, that's why he got banned. So now I just gave him my account so he can take revenge. I'm gonna get banned. I honestly, I don't care. I'm looking to I want to trade prop capital from our from our company next year. Like, I don't want to be trading too many challenges myself. We're just going to be buying a fuckload of challenges with our company, with our team, and then just trading them at the same time, most likely, because it's a ton of work and effort to basically constantly try and pass these challenges and manage everything. Eventually, it just gets really boring to constantly focus on challenges and whatnot. Let's wait for a retracement first. So I'm kind of done with doing challenges. They're so extremely boring. And even if I do them now, I'll just risk 2% just to get through it ASAP, because I don't want to bore myself with all these challenges. What the fuck? And also, time is money, right? So wasting months and months on a challenge, for me, it's not worth it. I would much rather blow 10 challenges and then pass 2 or 3 challenges and then get that payout and then have an actual funded account, rather than, nail every little challenge. You're clicking on save and jump. Oh, thanks for telling me. Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Oh, you took a loss.
What do you guys think about this trade? Weak VIS. Right on. I agree with you guys. What about this one, though? I think we'll get multiple different opinions on this trade. I think some of you guys are going to like this one, and some of you guys are going to dislike this one. Esteban says he would take that. Then again, I do see no liquidity sweep. I wouldn't. The two brothers are disagreeing. Thomas wouldn't take it. Esteban would take it. All right, me myself, I probably wouldn't take this, mainly for the fact that we get 2 factors that are negative. He's afraid. Negatively impacting us. The breaker structure isn't too convincing, and we have 2 equal lows. That's the main reason why I wouldn't take it. But let's see what happens. It looks like it might be break even by now. That would have been not yet. That would have been a close to break even. That would have been a loss. They're hedging each other. How are you guys dealing with FTMO, Esteban? Because I know if you're on the same IP and you're taking the same trades, they'll view that as copy trading. I don't know if you guys thought about that. Yeah. That's an actual issue. If you're going to be taking the same trades on the same IP on a different name, that's going to raise flags for sure. You're going to have to watch out with that. That is clean, I agree. Looks really nice. Yeah, ask support, but I do know that when you're trading on different or on the same IP with this different names, the way they see it is that you're, for example, using your brother's name to avoid max allocation or something like that. So just make sure that you watch out for that. Also, but it's really easy to fix though. You could use a VPS and you solve it. So it's not like it's a shit. It's not like it's difficult to fix it or anything. That's risk free, and that's our first win.
God did.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you avoid stuff like that, Esteban, because I've been warned by FTMO before, and it's definitely something to be wary of, because you know, especially FTMO being one of the only reliable firms. That trade looked really weird to me, though. All right, let's analyze it though. We had our breaker structure. We had multiple fair value gaps. And then we had our liquidity sweep. So from a mechanical standpoint, this trade would have been totally valid. Of course, the idea of having something that looks nice doesn't necessarily mean that it'll always play out perfectly. So that's why I try to refrain from the way that setups look, basically. Every time you inhale, it sounds like you're smoking. It's a matter too of not trying to look for A+ setups only, but just trying to trade whatever meets your plan, really. I know Jay, who's in it right now, he's a really good trader. He trades a little bit more aggressively than I do, and he'll take way more setups than I do too, but his win rate is also higher than mine. Right, this is a loss.
Oh, he took a loss. Oh, no.
All right, what do you guys think about this long setup, though? What's up with that?
And it just so happens that my strike rate generally is around 90%.
Weak breaker structure is what he's saying. Esteban, if we can prove that both my brother and me are trading, that should be fine. Honestly, I don't know. You'd have to ask FTMO, but I know that the rules state that if you're trading on the same IP with different names, that they'll usually flag that as copy trading. But honestly, ask FTMO and ask support, because Esteban says he would take that long. Musty says there's a weak breaker structure. All right, I agree. So remember when I said, especially when I'm trading reversals, I like to see a strong breaker structure. Seeing as price action is relatively bearish right now, especially if we're going to be trading reversals, we want to see a stronger breaker structure that shows us that bullish momentum is coming into the market. So to me, this would be relatively aggressive. All right, be ranging for forever, basically. And then I do think you would have a break even over there, but that's okay because we're staying out. And eventually, this trade would have been taking way too long too, by the way. Like, even if you were in that trade, the swaps would have probably killed you. All right, eventually we break to the downside and we end up hitting stop loss. All right, so far it's really messy. And this is also what I said this year too, right? You see how usually during the summer months, that price tends to move sideways a lot more. Now, the key to successful trading is to not let yourself be tempted to switch strategies. I know some people will see, for example, price ranging sideways during the summer months, and they'll be like, I know that price is moving sideways. I'm going to start trading 1 to 2R or 1 to 1R just so I can catch those quick moves. And then they're testing that for a few weeks. It might go well, but then we move out of summer and we move into Q3. And then once we hit Q3, we're going to move back into, for example, trending markets, and now your edge no longer works. That's also why it's so important to test your edge on a long period of time and a large sample size. Because yes, markets move in cycles. That does not mean that you can just adjust your plan whenever you feel like it. I mentioned that because I got a couple of DMs about that this year during the summer months about how price was moving sideways a lot and people were thinking about switching their strategy. And I told them, once you have enough data to determine if that works or not, we're already going into Q3 and this might no longer work. Just to say that you should always stick to basically what you know works in the long run. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, we end up breaking to the downside. Valid short is what Esteban saying. How's your experience with Fusion Markets? I'm thinking about opening a live account because I'm pretty advanced with my test. Fusion Markets, in my opinion, is great. They're from Australia too, if I'm not mistaken. Is great if you want to trade with high leverage. In Europe, the European brokers, IC Markets, are all capped at 1 to 30. Fusion Markets is a really good broker for me personally because I do a lot of trading with EAs too. That's why I use them, because they have a really high leverage. I think 1 to 500. To be totally honest though, if you don't need the high leverage, just stick with the most reputable broker. Just stick with IC Markets, or because there's really no reason to put yourself into going with a little bit more of a shady broker just to I don't know, get a little bit higher leverage, especially if you don't really need it. The short is way too far gone by now. All right, what do you guys think about this setup right there? That long, or that short, excuse me. S1 says nice. I disagree with that, but I'd like to see what the rest has to say about that. S1 would take it from the other high, from the more recent high. All right. Are there any other comments on this trade? So for me personally, I wouldn't take this for the sole reason being that there's a lot of liquidity there. That's my number one reason for not taking that. Like I said though, I'm a little bit more conservative with my trades, especially if you look at my earlier trades from the beginning of this year. Like I said, I switched to a little bit more of a conservative trading style, meaning that this is not me saying that this is invalid or this is bad. Whatever it is, it has to be focused and it has to be based on your own trading and your own data, not what I'm doing here. Obviously, what I'm doing here is to teach you guys and is to collect data. But at the end of the day, it's got to be your own strategy and it's got to be your own results that you're basing it on. Anyways, I'm skipping that trade. We'll see what happened. I could be totally wrong. All right, it looks like we ended up avoiding a loss. For the reason that I said too, I wasn't liking how much liquidity we had over there. All right, what about this long reversal trade though? What do we think about that? All right, Esteban, you're being very aggressive today. I'm not used to this. Usually you're a little bit more conservative too. That's also like a good thing to notice too, is that's why you should not test for 10 hours on one day, But that's why you should test for 30 minutes a day, because every day is a little different, right? Some days you're going to feel a little bit more aggressive as opposed to other days. But once again, though, when we're trading reversals, we want to see a really, really strong break of structure to the other side, which we're not seeing right now. So we're staying out of this trade. Once again, not to say that it's wrong or anything. That's just me saying that I like to be a little bit more conservative nowadays. If you were to take that trade, it's totally valid from a mechanical standpoint. But I would much rather focus on following the bearish trend right now. For example, that setup right there. There's only one thing I don't like about that setup, and it's the fact that we have a lot of liquidity. We'll see what happens. It looks like we might have missed out on a winner, though. Yeah, but that's part of it. Yeah, I only have 3 hours of sleep this night too, so you and me both. So I might be a little sloppy too. Would have been a valid loss, actually. So far, it's kind of a shitty pair, honestly. What were you up to? I was, yeah, it was a busy night. I was exercising last night. Not on the couch, not this time.
How's it going? I got Diego. Yeah.
Everyone's afraid of sitting on the couch now. Everyone I work with. You can ask Jay. Jay works at our office too. Nobody wants to sit on the couch anymore because they all think that I did nasty stuff on there, but I never did. I only did that 5 times maybe. I pretend that it's on there. All of them know. What are you talking about? All of my colleagues? They all know, yeah. They do. It's a lot of liquidity. Only 5 times. More than twice makes it a habit. Whoops. This would have been a valid long, actually, but we missed that one because I skipped forward way too fast. We ended up putting up the Christmas tree in our office today. I'll send you guys a picture once I'm done with the call. Musty says liquidity. I do agree, but we basically swept most of it. The only thing that we didn't sweep was that high. And everything else we basically took out. All right, let's move along nicely. Do you guys also hear static noises when oh, is the music bothering you guys? Okay, nice, that's a win. That's fine, S1, honestly. Like, I know that if I were to trade this back in January, I would have taken a lot more trades too. I just got a little bit more conservative throughout the year. Carmen bought a new setup. Let's look at that. Let's look at that in a second. Oh, honestly, this one is approaching Christmas, and we don't really trade Christmas, so let's skip to the end of the year. I usually stop trading around the 10th of December. Alright, about a 50% win rate. To be honest, this is not 100% truthful. We did take one or two losses that we should, or we did take, we missed out on 2 losses, I think. So this would have been closer to around 10K, which is about a 2R gain. So this one should be a little lower, actually, because we missed out. This one should be 4 losses and 2 wins. Meaning that we'd have around, like, what's that, a 30% win rate? Oh, nice. How do you like the ultra wide monitor? I switched back to a regular monitor because when I'm recording, it's basically a lot more convenient for me to have the regular 4x3 monitor. So it looks like my analysis on Bitcoin played out too. The one I made a video about recently. I'm trying to find if my markups. Anyways, I did an analysis video on Bitcoin a while ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but let's see how accurate it was. All right, so I was expecting Bitcoin to trade back to.
There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah, yep. You have a blessed day. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, so it's. I'm trying to see the feed so I can pull up my drawings. What is that? Markets. Oh, markets. Okay, cool. Bitcoin. They should still be on there. They're not. Anyways, I think we analyzed. I think we were expecting price to come back to this demand zone, and then basically move up to the upside. So if that was, I think that's what I analyzed, and that played out really nicely. But it's a little hard to see right now. When did I post this? I posted it on October 20th. Oh, never mind. My analysis. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, it's correct. It played out to the T. So that's really solid. Can you check my data? Yeah, for sure. He tagged me. Can you ping me so I can pull it up? Thank you. pop out the chat first. Oops. Here we go. Where do I start, Esteban? Ooh. Ooh, very nice. This is very, very solid. Damn. It's a little lower now. Well, still, basically, anything above 35 is, to me, is really solid. Very nice, dude. Really good data. I didn't know you were cooking 40% win rate. You didn't tell me. That's why I want to see if maybe honestly, don't let it get to you, right? Whatever it might be, you know that you're profitable, and you're gonna have rough periods. You're definitely gonna have rough periods. Hold on, let me full screen that. Fuck. Okay, there we go. So you're still at 39% win rate. You're gonna get that back for sure. Don't let anything, don't let it affect your mentality too much. This is totally part. Even if you get down to 36, 30, 35, even if you end up having your equity curve go from this basically getting a little dip and then going back up, that's still great. Don't let that get to you. That's all part of it, right? You can even see it back here too. So there's a lot of static in the background of your mic. I wonder what that's about. Is that the music? Does anyone else hear that, or is that just you and Bozu? I'll turn off the music, see if it improves. There's the music. Okay, cool. Anyways, S1, don't worry about it, honestly. Even here, you see that you have that dip. And you're going to get more of those dips. You're going to lower your win rate to 37, then go all the way up to 42 or 43. And then your average eventually will be around 38 to 42. 39, I've said it before. A couple of good traders that I know were at 39% last year. And they made about 200K euros from prop firms. So not dollars, euros. And I don't even know how much that is in dollars. I think it's 240 maybe. 200. Oh, it's so wrong. It's not 200. It's $213,000. What's up, SK? How are you doing? So with a 39% win rate with a 1 to 3 RR. So, dude, solid. Don't let it get to you. Anyways, yeah, FX Replay 2.0 was a lot better for sure. I just want to see my data, how much time I spent on my strategy. Overall amount of real time spent on FX Replay. This is not true at all. I've literally spent more time on the live sessions and whatever the fuck that is. How do I see what my data is? Does anyone know? How do I pull up my own data? The hours, basically, how much time I spent on it. This is pretty cool, though. Our overall win rate out of every single trader in this FX Replay account is 35%, which is profitable, which is really solid. And you guys test most on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's go. I just really wonder what my analytics are on my strategy. Once again, though, just a reminder, this is a little lower, in fact, because I used to do split entries. Oh, shit. Yeah, I was going to say that, Esteban. It's a little lower. I used to do split entries, which basically, if you took 1 or 2 wins, you'd basically have double the win rate. So it's more closer to 40 to 43 probably. Because especially in the beginning, right, I used to take a lot more split entries. You also get double the losses. Yeah, you do. But if you have a solid year, and especially in the beginning, if you take just a few more wins than losses, if you have a good period, you basically increase your win rate dramatically. And that's exactly what happened. All right, so the balance is still fucked. Still only shows a few percent gain. That sucks. So is there no way to see how much time I spent on FX Replay? You guys happen to know that? I wish I could. Also, once again, a quick reminder, this is not JB. This is not our JB, by the way. This is not John. This is someone else from our Dutch firm who has the same initials, who basically names his strategy JB. It's not John. It's someone else. Just so you guys know. I want to see Big Mac. Big Mac has taken like a billion trades. He started like in 2020, I think 2008 maybe. Man, chat. Yeah, look at that. Starting in 2004, he traded all the way through the housing market. I was thinking of making a video on the housing market, basically the 2008 crisis, because that's something that really fascinates me, economics, and especially the the financial crisis in 2008. I was thinking of making a video about that and how the housing market collapsed and how it affected everyone worldwide. If you guys are interested. You can clearly see, though, by the way, right? It's 35% win rate, so there's definitely room for improvement, but still, this is a really solid equity curve. I would take that any day. You seen The Big Short? Yeah, The Big Short is one of my favorite movies for sure. Definitely. Bro tested even before he was born. Thanks. Crazy. Anyways, it's nice to see how our analysis on Bitcoin played out. I've only got a few $1,000 in cryptocurrencies because I basically, the only reason for me to have crypto is whenever I get a payout on a prop firm, I'll withdraw it in crypto on some firms. So I don't really care about cryptocurrencies too much. Are you guys liking the analysis on YouTube, by the way? The daily outlooks? They're getting decent views. They're getting like 100 views per video. This one also, for some reason, got really good engagement. It got 1.1k views, and I made this one in like 15 minutes. watching it every day. I appreciate that. That's good to hear. That's how I know I'm not doing it for nothing. Yeah, but the FDMO payout video went insane. Well, I want to say viral. Obviously, 17K views is not considered viral, but to me it is. But just the fact that there's so little videos about truly credibility, like transparency. How do you request a payout? What's your track record? What's your journal? And I made a little reel on Instagram in Dutch, so you guys can see it. But I basically made a little reel calling out all the gurus, basically saying, if you're really profitable, show a prop firm payout, show a journal, show a track record, show anything, a certificate, for all I know. Just not a Rolex or a rented car. Just even a prop firm certificate shows that you're somewhat profitable. I mean, it doesn't show exactly that you're profitable because you could have been hedging it, but a payout, whatever, basically just anything. But I just noticed that there's so many people who don't have anything to show for. Also, I don't want to call out people really, but I know a trader who wanted to join us couldn't afford to join us, so now he started his own mentorship with zero transparency, zero profitability, just trying to basically rip off people, copying a lot of our stuff and a lot of our educational material. Just whatever you do, if ever in the future you decide to pursue some form of education, whether it be in e-commerce, trading, investing, whatever you do, make sure that the person who you're getting education from has something to show you, has some proof at least. I always use the example of, you're not going to learn how to play piano from someone who doesn't know how to play piano. You'd want to see them play first, right? Like you don't want to just hop into a lesson. One of the best videos you have is for traders that can't find consistently. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. I'll try and make more videos like that. I'll rewatch that video myself, and then I'll see if there's anything I can. Let me see which video that was. For the traders that can't find consistency. Oh, that one. Yeah, I'll see if I can improve on that a little bit. Anyways, 5K subs. I'm really proud of that. Only 94.7K subs left until I get my silver play button. So we're getting close. We're 5% of the way there. I appreciate that. You came from my YouTube, right, Osama? Like, you found us on YouTube, right? Didn't you? Are you monetized that? No, I'm not. I don't really care about monetization because I'm never going to make enough from YouTube that it's going to be worth it, basically, for me to, you know, you'd be surprised. Well, maybe, yeah, in the future. But for right now, like, monetization would mean that I would have to stop using songs during the, during the live sessions. And I just don't really care about monetization that much. Maybe in the future, yeah, once I get to like 50 or 100K subs. But for now, I'm really just focused on, you know, providing value. Like, I'm not looking to post videos about cars or a quick flip or whatever. Also, I saw this video the other day of like flipping, I think it was like 5K to 2 mil, something like that. That guy. You know that this is literally like mathematically impossible, like with leverage and with margin. This is impossible. Like, there's literally no way to do that. So this is ridiculous. Like, people fall for that. 511K views, yeah, insane. But people fall for this shit. There's mathematically, you do not have enough margin or leverage to trade 5K the 2.2 million, especially in 10 days. In 10 days, that means you need to have about a 200% gain each day, which means that one loss would basically wipe out your entire account. That is how you know this industry is fucked. Yep. And it's really sad, honestly, because especially providing education. I remember before I started, or even when I started, I was talking to Emsin a lot. You guys know Emsin. His name is Emil. He's in the community too, about how I wasn't sure if I wanted to put myself out there, basically because of the fact that you always end up getting hate. Then again, our mission is kind of to bring realism and professionalism back into the industry. So if we end up getting hate, so be it. As long as we don't lower ourselves to these standards of posting these bullshit videos, these fake videos. But I do remember, like, when I first started, that was definitely a big factor to our, at least to my job as a coach. Like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to put myself out there and as this trading guru, you know. There are categories, for example, gaming, like you mentioned. I wonder what... trading falls into financial services. So it's the same as brokers and cryptocurrency brokers, whatever. And they do pay good money, yeah. Honestly, I have no idea if I'm close to monetization. How do I even see? How do I even know if I'm close? I have no idea. All right, generate income. Oh, so I need a bit more watch time. I'm at 2,000 hours right now, and I need 4,000. Oh, never mind. That's for YouTube Shorts. All right, so I'm not eligible yet for YouTube revenue. It's per year. Let me actually stop the recording too.